Yo,
Hey,
what's going on?
hello
What's up?
there, Mr. Dawson. Hello, Kevin Conrad. How y'all doing?
Good,
Hey,
man. How you doing?
Just been playing music and still just keeping the Kiss spirit going, reminding this new generation. Because
right.
yeah,
Well,
Yeah.
hey,
I
welcome to episode. I think this is 6 with Daniel Sneed, the next generation of space aces.
Yeah, man.
Tell us,
It's good
brother.
to see.
I'm going on my 30th anniversary. All right, back in 1996, I was you. Okay, starting out from the bottom. How's it going now? Trying to find the right guys.
well, it's kind of in a mix of I have a feeling that it's that I'm going to achieve, but then in another way, it's also like how and when because from where I live, Chattanooga, Tennessee, there's a lot of good musicians here, and I know a lot of musicians that love Kiss, but they don't really have the you know they don't really have the kind of ability and have the strength to do 2 hours of Kiss makeup and wearing the 7-inch platform boots that weighs like 6 to 8 pounds. But I have a thing where I would talk him into it and stuff. But I've got a guy that plays Gene Simmons in my band, Bronny Hamilton, and he really pulls him off good. He's got the tongue just like him, and he has long enough hair to where he doesn't need to have a. I call them stage helmets, but they're originally called wigs. If you get that,
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you wear them like a helmet.
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
all he's got to do is he got to get a perm.
Hmm.
First thing, you get
But
straight here, get a perm.
even though I'm trying to do everything I can to help out the guys in my band on, because they got the same mindset like I do, even though we're all totally different people. I'm the only member of the band who doesn't have kids and who's not married. I'm still single and living with my mom, just like I did when I was a kid. But, you know, right now, though, what I'm trying to do is, since we're a new Kiss tribute band starting out, I'm trying my best to get in touch with, nonprofit organizations or some local bands here in Chattanooga who can help put together a fundraiser so that I can raise money to get the rest of the guys in my band costumes by Barry Carr and David McBriar. So that way, when we do play, we look just like the real Kiss, kind of like Mr. Speed, kind of like you guys, Kiss 3 and Strutter. The name of my band's called The Psycho Circus. Not Psycho Circus, The Psycho Circus.
Circus, yeah, yeah. We got a guy we know who always has to make sure he says NYC after it.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
the reason the reason why I wanted to name my band The Psycho Circus was because since it's a strong name for a Kiss tribute band, Pearl. No, sorry, I have my dog in my cage, and she's crying about because we just had a thunderstorm that just went past here and stuff. But anyways, the reason why I wanted to call my band the Psycho Circus was because it was a strong name, and the Psycho Circus music video by Kiss. When I first saw that video, it made me want to dress up like Ace Frehley when I saw the background of outer space and the Earth and rockets and stuff. And I said to myself, that right there is like the coolest thing I've ever seen. And
Absolutely.
it happened back when I was a teenager in middle school. Of course, I've known who Kiss was since I was in kindergarten, but my mom wouldn't let me have a phone until I was in middle school. So the way I first saw Kiss with the makeup was by Guitar Hero and Just Dance games, and then when Rock and Roll All Night was on there, and I Was Made for Loving You, I liked the music. And then when I discovered it was Kiss, I went when I was in, I think I saw them on MTV or so. Or I saw them on the game, and then I went and said, "Mom, come look at this band. This band wearing makeup and having like black hair." And my mom and dad said, "That's Kiss." And then I said, "Really?" They said, "Yeah."
Oh.
And my dad got to see. My dad got to see Kiss in concert. My mom didn't because my grandmother thought they were Knights in Satan's service, which I know you all know that story.
Yeah, we all lived it.
But
Yeah.
so Kiss
So there you
first
go.
came. But yeah, so therefore, whenever I saw the music video and stuff, which Ace Frehley made me want to play guitar, just like I'm sure he did to you, and Kiss made me want to, be in a band, and so therefore, even I didn't know how I was going to do it or when, but I've always had faith in myself that if I'm going to talk some guys into being in a Kiss tribute band, because I know once they put the makeup on, they're going to have a lot of people get pictures and all that stuff. But we definitely have a good fan base going on. We got groupies and we've got young fans and we've got some bands that are being good sponsors of us, and it's going all right. But we still got to get to rehearsing, and we still got to do all this. Got some people who are going to help us out with the costumes and people helping spreading out the word and stuff. Because what I wanted to do was, since there's Kiss tribute bands in New York and Florida and Chicago and Los Angeles, Las Vegas and stuff, I wanted to put together a Kiss tribute band for the Southeast District: Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, Kentucky, North and South Carolina, that kind of Kiss tribute district. When you're a musician that spends hours doing makeup and wearing stuff on leather and spandex on stage that don't always feel as comfortable as you want it to, it never hurts to add some good looking women in there.
That's
For
Kevin.
sure.
You gotta stay working out. You gotta stay working out. You stay in this biz.
Yeah, you're young now, Daniel. Keep it up, man. Keep yourself in good health. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, for sure.
So Kevin, what do you got for him? Now, see,
So,
Kevin's been hired into the scene. He didn't start from the bottom up. So go ahead, Kevin.
no, yeah. So, Daniel, how old? Can I ask you how old you are again?
I'm
Your age?
22.
22. So, you mentioned Psycho Circus, the album. You weren't even a glimmer in your parents' eye yet when that album came out. And the two albums that have come out during your lifetime, Sonic Boom and Monster. A lot of times, like people, the younger they are, they jump in on a certain album that comes out at the time. What do you think of those two albums? And were you a fan of them, or are you a fan of the original four guys?
I'm a fan of all Kiss
Okay.
from the beginning to the end. Even though the Kiss I grew up with was with Tommy Thayer and Eric Singer, and I am a fan of Tommy, and I've met Tommy too, and he was really nice. And I got to meet him by a guy named Tom Zutot. I got to meet Kiss backstage and get my picture with him. And but I had to go all the way up to Indianapolis because I was going to go to Knoxville, which is right up the road from where I live, but it got canceled because Paul got sick. So I was brokenhearted for about a week. But anyways, I love those two albums, Sonic Boom and Monster. Of course, I kind of like Sonic Boom a little bit more though because Sonic Boom is it's kind of I like the guitar tone to it, and Paul's voice to me sounds a little bit better on that album than Monster. What amazes me about Sonic Boom is that I think it was the first album where Tommy and Eric actually fully played on that album and actually had the when they took place to being the Spaceman and the Catman and stuff, and them actually getting to show the world what they are on the album. But Sonic Boom is definitely, I give that album 4.5 stars. I love When Lightning Strikes, All for the Glory, Modern Day Delilah, and Say Yeah, and all them good tunes. And then for Monster is like, a little bit more heavier, and that's when, Kiss kind of changed out when Tommy and Eric, right after they did Sonic Boom, after they got done doing the Destroyer costumes for, I think, the third round after the farewell tour. And then whenever Tommy and Eric came out with their own Spaceman and Catman costumes, that's like different from what Peter and Ace wore. Tommy having the black boots with the lightning bolts, but similar to what Ace had in the early days. And then Eric Singer wearing the vest. Monster is really badass too. And
okay, that's cool, man.
And Out of This World is a strong song by Tommy Thayer. Out of This World, All for the Love of Rock and Roll, Last Chance, Hell or Hallelujah. Oh yes.
Okay, good.
Now, what is your favorite Ace solo to play? And is it true? Are you really a plumber on the side?
I don't know, but if you got a little piece of pop backstage I can work on, that'd be good. Oh, I love that interview so much. The Kiss on the Tom Snyder interview, and Gene's got that.
It's the best.
And then Ace is like drunk but being funny, and then Gene's got that. I'm gonna whoop your ass after this interview. And actually, question, if you mind asking, did y'all ever see that interview, Kiss on the Tom Snyder Show when y'all were kids?
I did.
I did as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I was 10 years old. He's got 10 years on me, so I was 10. He must have been almost 20.
Yeah. Easily.
And so, but my favorite Ace Frehley. Well, I have a lot of favorites, but I really love doing Shock Me. Of course, that's his signature solo. I love that one, and that's the one that whenever I would do with my band, and then I'd break into my smoke guitar and stuff, and then Shock Me, and of course Rock and Roll All Night. But Rocket Ride's a really good one too. But Shock Me is my favorite solo to play by Ace because it's long and it's a really strong solo, which made a lot of guitar players want to play guitar when they heard that song. And Ace Frehley, almost every solo Ace did was really good. Ace writes good solos, and 100,000 Years is really good. Killer, but hard to play. Deuce is a great one. Dark Light's great. Into the Void, which Into the Void is a really good one. And I'm actually in the process of learning Into the Void, because since that's one of the closest Ace Frehley Kiss songs to my generation.
It's a good one.
And I do like some Ace Frehley solos that he did outside of Kiss, like Rock Soldiers is really great. And from his Frehley's Comet career, like Insane and stuff. But yeah.
So what is your favorite Ace Frehley album outside of Kiss?
I really do like Spaceman. That album came out when I was a freshman in high school. Spaceman and Space Invader. And I really like Anomaly. Anomaly came out when I was in kindergarten. It came out in 2009.
I remember getting it. I remember buying that as soon as it came out.
And what amazes me about even though when I listen to Ace Frehley solo, I still hear the Kiss guitar tune. But whenever I listen to Ace Frehley solo, I listen to like what Ace Frehley Ace Frehley showing the world what his kind of rock and roll is. Because being with Kiss, I'm sure he would have loved to have done a lot more, but since Gene and Paul control Kiss, and sometimes they control Kiss in a way that I think they should not be as strict, because rock and roll to me should be about freedom and being about showing the world all you got, instead of just being about, being real strict and not allowing fans. Because to me, it's all about the fans. I've got a job. I make money. Your fans is what makes you who you are. And if you want to, not let your fans have show the fans what you have, then fans probably might not enjoy you as much. And, stuff like that.
Yeah, wait till you have to deal with some alcoholics in your band, and then you're going to sit there and you're going to empathize with Gene and Paul. Say, you know what? Holy shit! It must have been hell dealing with Ace not showing up on time, just whatever the frick's going on.
Yep.
Yeah, Daniel, take the best parts of Ace.
Yeah. And did I show y'all? I got Ace's tattoo on my arm.
Me too. Tattoo. That was my first tattoo I ever got.
Yeah.
Me too, brother.
Nice.
I show. And was any of y'all at Creatures Fest in 2022?
I wish I was there, Daniel. I did not go, but I really wanted to.
I got to meet Ace there, and it was definitely, it beat a Kiss concert. I got to meet Ace. I got my picture with Peter, and I got to meet Chips Enough from the band Enough's Enough, and Vixen was there, and John Corabi. I've met a lot of good rock stars and good fans that are like, to me, the greatest people in the world, because they're nice, and they dress in like ways that you don't see a lot. They dress rich is like an easy way to put it, wearing leather jackets and skinny jeans and black cowboy boots, and wearing like studded belts, and just and of course Kiss makeup, and just seeing all kinds of nice people. And Ace's security was really nice to me too and stuff. And I told because actually I got a story to tell y'all. So the first day at Creatures Fest, I got up at 3 o'clock in the morning and started putting on the makeup, because me and my mom had to drive up to Nashville, and I didn't know what time I was going to meet Ace. But I was scheduled to meet Ace the next day, and I didn't plan on wearing makeup. And I wanted Ace to see what I looked like in his makeup. So I go to his security, and it was right at that time I graduated high school. And then I told Ace's security, my name's Daniel, and I have autism. And at that time, I was 19 years old. And I said, I'm 19 years old, and I just graduated high school, and I really would love to meet Ace while I'm in makeup. Do you think it's possible? And then Ace's security was like, I think it is. We'll go talk to him and see. And so when they did the Unplugged set, that's when Ace came out. And then I asked Ace's security after that, because Bruce Kulick was there. I was going to meet Bruce, but I was nice enough to just let him go, because I knew he had a busy schedule. And I said, maybe I'll get to meet him and meet him one day, which
I'm sure you will.
Pardon me real quick. I'm still on here. I'm going to go ahead and let my dog out. That's always she can quit crying, because it's all right, Pearl. You better quit that crying. I mean it. Because I'm on it. I named my dog Pearl because I'm going to see if I can get her on there. That's my doggie right there.
I named her dogs. He's a dog guy.
Oh man, yeah.
I named her Pearl because since I'm a guitar player, and I figured, well, I need to have a dog that can be a drum beat. Can't have rock and roll without guitars and drums.
No,
I agree.
Not yet.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep. And it's and I'll tell you people one thing. Being a Kiss fan and being a musician has saved my life completely. And despite what critics say, because I always say to myself, and because when people would say stuff like, why does Kiss exist? I'm like, well, because I tell people all the time, Kiss is every musician. You shut up, bro. Every musician is the way they are for a big reason. And stuff.
Pearl's got something to say, man. Pearl's got something
to
say.
Come here, Pearl.
I didn't prepare no questions for Pearl, though. I don't have no questions.
What do you got to say, Pearl? Can you say hi to Vinny Dawson and Kevin Conrad? They're in a Kiss tribute band too.
Hey, Pearl! Hello, Pearl!
Yeah.
Ah,
Do you mind if I show you my room too? My
Oh,
all
go
my
ahead. While you're
Kiss
walking, I can
collections.
think of a
Yeah.
question.
yeah, let's do it.
Let me see if I can get my camera to face forward. How do I do that?
What do you
Oh,
want?
sorry. No, that's
Uh, no,
so. This
that's
is.
just the
Let's
speaker.
do it like this. So this is my room, and I got this for my birthday last year. It's an Ace Frehley solo album signed by him,
Oh, nice.
Nice, nice. That's
and
badass. I like that.
and of course I've got me this. I've got me a. It's a Kiss record, but it's a clock, and it's one of my church people got it for me. It's got Kiss from the Psycho Circus. I can tell by the way Ace and Peter's makeup is and how Paul's hair is, because sometimes I'll look at pictures of their makeup and I can tell right off the bat what album it's on. And
Well, you can always tell Paul's wigs too.
yeah, and
Yeah.
so
Paul's wigs give it away.
this is my Ace Frehley smoker guitar. It's a Chinese replica, but I gotta get a new uh, smoker installed, one where I don't have to rig up a smoke bomb every time because
I told you, send it up to me. You send it up to me and we'll route it out. Me and Kevin will route it out. He's been dying to route out another guitar.
No, no, no.
and
Daniel, you
also
already asked me to do that. I did it for you, Vinny, man. It's like, if I break that guitar, Daniel, I'd feel really horrible.
now
Yeah.
Well,
I got now I gotta
you've
be
done
even
some
bit.
already.
So what do you think about this guitar?
That's awesome looking.
Oh.
Who painted that?
Insane Skins painted it. It's a Epiphone Les Paul traditional probe, and a friend of mine from Chicago, Illinois, David Swain is his name. He ordered it off of a musician's friend, and then he had it shipped over to California to Insane Skins to where they could, paint it. They was gonna do the autism puzzle pieces originally, but when they found out that I was an Ace Frehley fan, because they're fans of Ace Frehley too, and so they decided to put Ace's face on there, which is really cool. Kind of like how Gene's got a bass with his makeup on it and stuff,
Yeah, that's
and so
awesome.
this is my guitar case. It's a Tommy Thayer one, but I like the blue, and I got Ace's a picture of Ace there, and this right here is a British Playboy model that I met one time, and yeah, I got all the bells and whistles, and then here's my boots that I got from Barry Carr, the Destroyer boots, and which they're really good. I never bought anything from David McBride yet. I may, but I trust Barry Carr because since he makes it out of the real deal, and I'll buy it as long as I don't do. I hear a lot of negative reviews about David Paya from Kiss replicas and stuff, and I'm not exactly sure if well,
Welcome back.
so
Welcome back.
yeah, but how is your band Kistery doing?
We're doing good.
Yeah.
We're doing good. I
Because
mean, everybody wants to land an agent so you can make money like Strutter does, Mr. Speed. But
so
it's
that's awesome because well, and I have seen because even me as an Ace Frehley tribute, I like seeing other Kiss tribute bands, and I saw Kiss Army in McMinnville, Tennessee. I saw them. I saw Mr. Speed, and last month I got to see Mini Kiss.
Ah,
I
really
tell
good.
you,
Yeah.
come on.
and guess
Are they
what?
really playing? Are they really playing? No, they're not playing,
Yeah,
are they? They're not.
yes and no.
I,
There, Mini Paul and Mini Peter really are, but Mini Ace and Mini Gene, I don't know for sure if they really are playing. Which I honestly don't bash musicians for if they're doing it. That if they are, not really playing, but I would not recommend them to do that because if you're going to be a musician playing live, I would highly suggest you not use any tapes because whenever I play, I I don't mind maybe like a little tape for an intro of a song. But if I'm going to play guitar and if somebody says you're going to be having some backing track guitar playing with your playing, I'm like, hell no. When I play, I'm going to be
No,
live
you can't.
100%.
You can't. Yeah, you lose all the you lose all the energy in it, right, Kevin?
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. I just lost you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
Hang on.
There he's back. He's back.
I'm
Some
having technical difficulties. It keeps timing out every 10 minutes. That's why I'm getting up to refresh the screen. So I apologize about that.
He just got past smoke signals, like. So
And,
go ahead, Kevin.
And so whenever I check out other Kiss tribute bands, I'll also pay attention to detail about their ace because since these tribute bands have been playing since way before I've been born, and even though I've been portraying Ace Frehley since I was 16, and I'm 22 now, but I'm still trying to learn. What I'm trying to learn more is the movements because the music I got down pretty good and the makeup I do really well. It's just what gets difficult is when you're doing the movements.
Acting. It's the acting part. The acting. You gotta get, it's acting. Getting the poses, the faces, everything. I don't look like Ace or Gene without without the makeup on. But what I do is I contort my face to look like them and do their face movements that they've done.
Yeah, and you do a really good job pulling both of them off. That's a really good job. I even tell people that, and now, would y'all love, Pearl, don't look out the window. If so, would y'all like to come play Chattanooga one day? Because I'm friends with a guy. We have a venue here in Chattanooga called Barrel House Ballroom, and it's a pretty good size. It's not like real big or real small, but it's big enough where at least like 2,000 to 3,000 people could fit in it. And we have bands. That's where Mini Kiss played at, and I'm working on maybe getting my band to play there once we get everything settled in. But Mike Dewar said that he can book y'all if y'all are able to, talk. Well,
you can book it. Why don't you play Ace for us? That way you can play in the show.
Awesome. Well, even though I may have my own,
drive us all down.
Yeah.
Well, a Kiss tribute band's always been my dream, but the only thing is my band isn't really doing everything I want it to do. But although I got members that are pulling off the members great, but they're not really being as committed like I want them to, because I have because they got too much on their mind. But what I am doing is I am still learning other Kiss songs just in case if one day if I get to fill in for you guys or if I get to fill in for any other Kiss tribute band, like that saying, and Bruce Kulick even say it, when opportunity knocks, you better be ready.
Yeah. Yep. You hear that, Kevin?
Absolutely.
I will say, I do not do any drugs. I do drink some beer off and on, but I do it in a professional way because I know my limit on when it comes to playing. Of course, I have played drunk before, and I have still walked in the boots just as good as I do sober.
It helps you play an Ace. Definitely helps you.
I tell people all the time, I guess I really am a spaceman being able to walk drunk like that in them boots. I tell people the gravity on Earth. I tell people that the gravity on Earth keeps me steady. And
that's one of the things of playing Ace. You got to have bad balance.
Yeah. And also, you got to be able to crack up a joke every once in a while. You know how Ace would do.
When